Hey there, Deanna LaRue here with Timewise Financial. So I know a lot's going on in the markets. And this morning I woke up and took a bunch of notes and I thought, I'm going to send this out via video. And like we always try to stay proactive with you guys. And if you are having any questions or fears, you always know where to find us. But let's think about, some of the notes that I took this morning. I know that since the beginning of the year until now, we are seeing a lot of stocks decrease in value. But to kind of change our perspective on this, a lot of those were really overhyped, overvalued companies that probably shouldn't have been trading for that value. And so we're just seeing a normal correction come in those. We're also seeing those people who thought that they were that brilliant stock picker, not be so brilliant anymore. They invested all of their money in one company, let's say Tesla or Bitcoin, and we're seeing a lot of volatility in those. And that can be scary when you have it all in one company. But this is part of the process. We actually love this part of the process. We need those people to be wrong, because the average investor is investing with emotions, and they are buying when they shouldn't be buying and selling when they shouldn't be selling. But that creates opportunity for us. So we just got to keep that in mind. And when we look at companies like, for instance, Nike, we know that Nike will be around. Nike's down year to date. But just because the market is saying that it's down. So let's think about what is the actual value of Nike? So how much are we willing to pay for $1 of profit that we're going to get from Nike? And if the market is saying that, the market meaning TV, everybody's trading saying Nike's not doing good enough for us, then that's scaring the average investor. But it's our job to truly look at the real value of the company. And just kind of take a little bit of common sense. We know that Nike's going to be around. We know that Apple's going to be around. And where we get in trouble is trying to time the market. So we've got to be really careful with timing the market. It's not all doom and gloom right now. Again, we just have to change our perspective, and this is actually the time to buy. So I also think that this is a great reality check. Sometimes I have clients that will call when the market is going smooth, it's going up, and say, Deanna, Matt, Kate, don't you think I should be a little bit more aggressive in the portfolio? Well, you have to be able to stomach this kind of downturn on the flip side. And so if you're watching your portfolio and you are 5-10 years out from retirement, we know that this is going to come back, but are you willing to stomach that? And that's where we ask you those risk tolerance questions to really gauge, how can you stomach this? So when we think about, I love this visual. When we think about the stock market, the long-term trajectory of the stock market is that it goes up. It increases. The hard part is along the way, even though it increases, it is still going up and down. And that can be scary. But the best part is especially, this is exactly why I love dollar cost averaging, meaning that you are investing a little each month. And so sometimes you might be buying on sale, and sometimes you might be buying at a premium, but over the long run, on average, we are going up. So you just have to keep that in mind. We don't want to time the market because that is hard. And that is when emotions really come in and affect our investing, which is why studies show that the average investor doesn't end up making a return over the long run because they are too tied to their emotions and making knee-jerk reactions, where we get to come in and really look at the facts. So what are the opportunities? Maybe we don't agree with the political landscape, but there's always opportunities that are going to be available within that. I also know that the word recession sounds scary. And when I first got in the business 20 years ago, it scared me as well. And it doesn't anymore. I'm really not intimidated by a recession. That is truly, like I've been saying, where all of the opportunities are. So what is a recession? Let's just take a step back. I mean, what does this scary word really mean? It just means that we have seen 2 consecutive quarters of GDP go down. So GDP, this is the measure of how we are growing as a country, how much money we are spending as a country. And so if we're starting to see that go down over 2 consecutive quarters, then we see a recession. So if we are in a recession, we'll come back out. History shows that every single recession that we've ever been in, we have gotten out of within 3 years and rebounded, which is why we like to invest your money with a purpose, and we love having those buckets. And if you are in retirement, we're not taking as much risk. I know that we're seeing even bonds having some volatility, but that will also even out. So the best course of action right now is to stay the course, stay invested. You know, we can go and look at the underwear index that shows, well, when men stop buying as much underwear, then we must be in a recession, or the lipstick index, which I think are actual things. But that's not what we're paying attention to. We're paying attention to the actual value of the company and a little bit of common sense within that. So just staying the course, and furthermore, expecting. We are in a new landscape. Just like I'm able to wake up this morning and say, I want to send my clients a video with my little device. Well, we can see everything that's going on immediately everywhere in the world. And so that's going to cause more volatility in the future. It's just going to be a part of the life that we are now living, which makes it even more important for us to really focus on those buckets and the visualization that makes you comfortable and understanding of what's going on in your portfolios. Again, if you have any questions, you know where to find us. And if you haven't signed up for Matt's market volatility video for next month, or I'm sorry, next week, not next month, next week, then be sure and do that, and we'll provide a link below. You guys have a wonderful day. Thanks so much.